Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. The path deeper into Labyrinthos that Aaronville told the Scions about would have definitely been dangerous to the average person. But the fact that your group has been fighting gods since forever means the trip barely makes any of you break a sweat, despite the fact that you get attacked by no small number of dangerous creatures. The path does lead to the Meteor Circuit, which is the place where all projects dealing with agriculture take place. So Alphino figures that if the theory that Aaronville had about people preparing to leave Sharlayan was true, then you should all find more signs of the packing up process there. So you all head off to the very first impressive farm that you see to try to find out things. Kral knows the place. It's called Marial Agronomics. The Meteor Circuit of Labyrinthos is where they test out the methods of growing plants from different regions. The Marial Agronomics is where they test the food to see if it's poisonous or just kind of disgusting. There aren't any gleaners in the area, but the people working on the farm seem to be moving like the same fire's been lit under them that the gleaners had, which means they might know something about the farm's plan. So you all head off to do your subtle but not really interrogations. The workers are surprised some unauthorized people made it down there in the first place, but once you tell them that you came through the mine shaft, which is outright admitting to the fact that you're trespassing, the farmers, who should be calling the local authorities, are actually impressed by the fact that you survived the trip and would normally be willing to give you a guided tour through the place that you're not supposed to be in. But since the forum has them working on some big orders, they don't have time to assist you on your criminal activities. The forum wants wagon loads of crop samples delivered yesterday, which is making it hard for the farmers to keep up with the demand. What's weird is the orders are for large quantities of seeds that they already have boatloads of information on, and the forum members aren't telling anyone why. Next to where they have their crates stacked are some very weird flowers that they call heart blooms. The things seem to feed off of the emotions of the people that are around it, and they change color depending on how the people are feeling. No matter how much the Sharlayans study the things, they can't figure out how the flower does what it does. The plant also lives for a very long time, but new ones don't sprout up all that often, which makes it hard to figure out where the things come from. Every race of people who have found the things call them something completely different, and they have a different story about where they came from, which is very annoying to the Sharlayans, who seem to want to know everything about everything. But at the moment, they're too busy to focus on the flower. But the fact that even Ishtola's never heard of the things means that the odds of them figuring out what they are pretty slim. The things really seem to catch Kral's eye, but neither them nor your question and answer session with the farmers has done anything to help you all figure out the forum's real goal. Alice wishes you could all just interrogate one of the members of the forum themselves, and since Aaronville is getting his orders straight from someone in the organization, following him around would be the best way to get some information. Granted, this will actually be dangerous, but Ishtola has a plan to get the Warrior of Light, Alphino, and Alice close enough to eavesdrop. They're interested to hear about the plan, but Kral wasn't even paying attention. She was staring at the plan in a very weird way, but since Aaronville is about to start heading off to do something, there's not much time to waste figuring out what's going on in Kral's mind, so you all head off after the Gleaner. Ishtola's plan to keep you all hidden is not one any of you would have agreed to if she had asked first, so she doesn't. She just turns the Warrior of Light and the twins into frogs without your permission. Since Kral's been so scatterbrained, she decided not to change the woman, since she'd probably just get eaten by something instead of finding information. Granted, as frogs, you all might get eaten too, so while Ishtola and Kral stay in relative safety, you and the twins hop off after the Gleaner. You find him talking to two people who are in the middle of giving him a new assignment. It's another big one apparently, and he's clearly gotten tired of being treated like a slave without any explanation. He wants to know why the forum has been pushing the Gleaner so hard, and since unhappy workers don't work nearly as well as happy ones, Aaronville's handler decides to tell him what he can. A very long time ago, Sharlayan was given a very big mission, one that required them to do certain things if an event like the final day started. That's why they're pushing the Gleaners, but they can't say more at the moment. But they can say that what they have everyone working on is extremely important. That's enough to keep Aaronville on task for now, but the Gleaners won't keep working that hard for so little. The forum will have to give them more or they might just quit. Aaronville's contact understands that, and he heads off to let the forum know. Once he's gone, Aaronville looks straight at the three frogs who he immediately recognizes as some of the Scions. Since he didn't out you, he feels like he's paid his debt to you, and he hopes you got what you needed. For what it's worth, he doesn't think the forum is planning anything bad for the people, but since he wants to know what's going on too, he doesn't mind letting you snoop around a bit. Before he leaves, the spell ends, and the three of you turn back to normal, which lets Alice ask the Gleaner the one thing that she was really curious about. She wants to know how he recognized you all. The thing is, the man is a professional animal wrangler, so it's not hard for him to notice when one of the things is acting weird. With that new bit of information and a possible new ally, the three of you head back to Ishtola to see if you all can figure out what super important mission the Sharlayans were given, and why they think the only way to fulfill it is to leave the rest of Eorzea to burn. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Donate to the channel if you can, and I'll see you all next time.